the more energy you're going to have at the end of the day, the less overwhelm you're going to have at the end of the day. I will say that minimalism varies quite a bit depending upon the person. It is a personal experience. Make it what you will. Do, what you want. Do what feels good. Hey, welcome back to my channel. So a couple of people asked questions around minimalism and like, what is it? How did I get there? After last video, where I basically said that I felt that minimalism was really the key step in helping me get organized and with my ADHD, and also just like reduce overall my anxiety of getting dressed. Because back in the day, before I had my life together, getting dressed in the morning just to get to work or go to an event was a whole ordeal. The room would be destroyed. I was incredibly indecisive. I also waited to the last minute, so that didn't really help me, deal with the process of getting dressed well. So right now, I'm in the middle of what I call a purge. And basically, what a purge is you get rid of things that you no longer want to keep or things that are no longer useful. I'm sitting, you can't kind of see this on the thing, but I'm sitting in front of 2 crates of things. These are not all my things, by the way. I share obviously my closet with my partner. But what I do is, oh, one sec, let me actually get an example. Um, so what I do when I'm going through a purge is I go through each individual item, literally each individual item. It takes time. So I would say I put on my favorite music, you know, just kind of zone in, get ready to go. And I make a game almost out of it because my goal is to be, feel my best, look my best wherever I go, no matter what situation. So I go through each item and I decide if that coincides with, how that, what that is, how I feel. Y'all probably seen like Marie Kondo. I think her thing is like, does this bring me joy? which which is totally fine. Like whatever works for you, whatever helps you get there. But I basically go through and I just throw away items that I am no longer using or that I haven't seen in a long time. My general rule of thumb, so I'm going to get rid of these. My general rule of thumb when doing this is I get rid of items that look a little fuzzy, look a little like, maybe they could use a little love. Maybe I didn't take care of them the best. But maybe they can go to someone else who will. And so I get rid of those items. Sometimes what I've realized with myself is that my style, and hopefully this is you too, my style tends to change over time. And so that it's an opportunity almost for me to like reinvent myself. So as I'm going and doing shopping and things like that, you see new cute stuff that you want to buy, I make a mental note. Like say I am buying a lot of, oh, these are cute. I'll keep these. If I'm buying like a lot of shirts, for example, when I buy one shirt, I start to think about what is the outfit that this shirt can go to, and or what item in my closet already can this thing replace. So there are things that we have in our closet that are just kind of wear and tear things you wear all the time, like socks, right? You might go to the store and get a pack of socks. And if you're like me and you like socks, you will go to the store and get a pack of socks just because you feel like those are cute socks. Impulse buying in ADHD brain is a real problem. So actually minimalism in my experience has really helped to curb my spending in a really meaningful way, because you have more of a conversation with yourself at the point of buying it, so you can decide if you want to actually keep it. But basically what I ask myself when I find something that is cute, that I'm like, oh, this is something I want to add to my closet, is does this finish is this part of an outfit that currently exists? If the answer is no, then I ask, is this something that I want to replace, something that already exists in my closet? Oftentimes for me the answer is yes. Like the reason I like something is because whatever I had in the past feels out of style, or it doesn't feel like it's my vibe anymore, and I just need something to replace that item. So I ask myself that, and then if the answer is like, yeah, you just feel like this is cute or whatnot, and you just want to have it, and you're going to replace an item in your closet already, then go for it. But the ideal situation is you are replacing an item in your closet, meaning you're not consistently just adding and adding and adding to the stuff, which is something that's a very new concept. At least for me, it was a very new concept for me because I really never witnessed a person throwing stuff out. Like, everyone does their spring clean, well, not everyone, I guess many people do their spring clean once a year or so when they want to get rid of things. And usually when they do spring cleaning, they're not going with super great detail into the items. Maybe it's like one or two shirts or so that just don't really fit anywhere. You don't have anything to go with them. But I never really saw a full purge until much later in my life. Um, but if you think about it, your refrigerator and the food that's in your refrigerator goes through a cycle. Everything has a cycle. But oddly enough, for many of us, our clothing never does. And that's really weird because many of us change over time. Like your personality changes a little bit, your values change a little bit, how you want to feel and look in your body will change a little bit, your weight might change a little bit. But I am always stunned when I go in people's closets and I see stuff from several different sizes. They have stuff from high school. And I will say that in my experience, like working and talking to other people with ADHD, we can be a little sentimental. So I think some of the stuff we hold on to is because it has sentimental value. And what I tell people is like take a picture, like wear it, take a picture of it, have that memory. But the item ultimately is not very useful anymore. It's just holding up space in your life where something better could be, quite frankly. So I do go through a purge. Something I did this year. Oh, I need to grab this crate. So let me get that. Something I did this year that's a little bit different from any of the previous years was I created a digital catalog of my outfits. Took a long time. Not gonna lie, wasn't always fun. If if you're thinking that it was fun, it wasn't always fun. But the reason for doing it was because I think that when you have ADHD, sometimes you can experience like a decision fatigue, which is where every single day you're making, 500 different decisions about what you should wear and, how do you get to the office and what do you need to eat and all of these different things. And I like to think that my brain just gets tired, quite frankly, of all the decisions. And that's when I start to get disorganized even more. That's when it becomes really hard for me to get motivated to do anything. That's when I start to make mistakes and my attention really suffers. Um, so I started thinking about I don't think we ever talked about this, but before I started doing what I'm doing now, I did own my own company. So I worked as a CEO for 3 years for myself. And what I learned during that time was like you make so many decisions as a CEO that when you stand in front of your closet to figure out what you want to wear, the last thing you want to do is try to make that decision. Y'all probably read all the articles and Steve Jobs wore the same like black turtleneck. It's a thing. And at the time, that made sense to me, but I never did implement it really in my life. But it's weird because now that I am kind of in this new phase of building my relationship with myself and structuring my life in a way that works for me, I'm realizing that standing in front of my closet and figuring out what to wear is my nightmare experience. I get exhausted just thinking about it. And so I went through this time and I put together different outfits. I took everything out of my closet. I did like a fashion show. I like put everything on with the shoes and everything, how I would wear it. And my friends, like they voted and gave me feedback on the outfit. And I just kept things that had an outfit. I kept them together. I took pictures of them together, kind of like how you would see on some of these clothing websites when they put the purse and the shirt and the jeans and the shoes all together. And it's like a experience and they trying to get you to buy more shit, excuse me, stuff. Um I basically did that for myself and I took pictures of the items and then I hung them back in my closet. And what I realized in doing that was that I had a lot of stuff that didn't go to anything. I just bought it because I thought it was cute at the moment. Some of it had tags on it. It was like a mess. So I ended up filling 2 bags of clothing up. So when I say I practice minimalism, what I most want you all to take away is that it ebbs and flows in terms of like how much stuff you have. I think you naturally accumulate stuff over time. So even if you do just an annual purge and review, that's good. I tend to do mine on like a couple times a year, honestly, as I'm buying things. And really, I think the most critical piece is having a good mindset when you go to buy things. Like, what is this item? Why am I buying this thing? Is it to complete an outfit? Is it to replace something that no longer works for me or is, kind of damaged and needs to be replaced anyway? Like, ask yourself the why before you put your card into the machine. So that has helped me cut down on my clothing in particular for buying clothing. So I went through and I made that digital catalog, and this is what I ended up with. So I ended up with a couple of different shirts. I'm a jumper girl to the day I die. I like to just pull it on, go. It's a little awkward later on when you got to go to the bathroom, but I like it. So I ended up with like 22 different outfits, complete with shoes. Took all those pictures, and then the other thing I did was I got rid of shoes that didn't have an outfit to go with them. A key example was I got these like really nice Vans that had blue and black and orange, like abstract decoration on them. At the time, they were probably really eye catching, and I was like, "Ooh, good dopamine hit from the colors," and I bought them. I have nothing to go with those, and so I ended up giving them away. I even had shoes that weren't even my size that I just clearly bought because I liked them without really checking the size, like a weird person. I don't know. Um, but I ended up going through, doing the digital catalog, getting an idea of all my clothing, and also with my shoes. And basically anything that didn't have a home went into the bag and to be homed with someone else. Now I have this um, digital record of what I have in my closet, one, and then I have already established ideas on what I can wear. And what I did, and I'll kind of link, maybe, I don't know how brave I am, but I also put like little categories associated with each outfit based on just how I felt when I was wearing them. And so now I can search in this little thing, this little almost like a spreadsheet, but it's an Airtable, how I want to feel in my clothing, and it'll come up with all of the outfits that made me feel that way. So it's a lot easier than standing in front of this closet and trying to figure out what I'm going to wear. It also made me really realize the ways my style has changed over the years, and that's been really helpful for me. What I ultimately did was when I was putting on the outfits, I made notes of things that I would have really loved to really top the outfit off. So I have one in there. I was like, oh, this will look so good. Like, this looks good already, but this will look so freaking good if I had a black leather jacket. So I put that on my list, and so now I'm shopping for a black leather jacket. But like, I'm shopping with that with intention instead of I'm just bored. I'm just going to go scroll and see what's available or what's on sale or what's on clearance, as I probably would have done in the past. So, this is kind of my version of minimalism. I will say that minimalism varies quite a bit depending upon the person. It is a personal experience. I've heard all kinds of versions of this and reasons why people do it. Some people do it because they're anti-consumerism, anti-capitalism. That's your business. I don't really care. My reason for doing it just works better for me when I can see everything. I don't feel so overwhelmed and anxious about like going to events. What I also noticed was going to events and hanging out with friends was anxiety provoking, not because I didn't want to go or I didn't want to see them. It was because I didn't want to go through the process of having to figure out what I wanted to wear, which is a shocking discovery for me. But once I put this catalog in place and I knew what I had in my closet and I knew what it went with already, and I was like solid, I could just lay in bed and scroll the catalog, select an outfit, get up, find it in the closet, and as long as it's clean, put it on. I was much more energetic about going places and going out and doing things. So a huge portion of ADHD, in my experience, is minimizing the number of decisions you have to make to get a task done. If that means you have to take a day and invite your friends over like I did so they can hold you accountable, honestly, hold you accountable, invite your friends over, have some drinks, do pizza, whatever your food is. I'm a Thai person. If that means that has to happen, then that's what has to happen. But in my experience, the fewer menial decisions you have to make throughout your day with ADHD, the more energy you're going to have at the end of the day, the less overwhelmed you're going to have at the end of the day. Because every time you have to make a decision, you're going to enter into a shame spiral if you don't know the immediate answer, or you procrastinate. That drives shame. Or you're going to get anxious about just the whole idea of even making that decision. And those emotions, the shame and the anxiety, take energy. So if you're like me and you are wiped by midday, you got to take a nap and restart, it's probably because you're making too many decisions during your day, in which case I would think back on what your routine is and see if you can trim some of the fat out of it. For me, a big piece was getting dressed. For you, it might be, what do you want to eat for breakfast? That was also a thing for me and my partner at dinner time. What do we want to eat for dinner? That question would strike fear into my heart because I don't know what I want to eat for dinner. But we started doing like Hello Fresh and some of those meal ready things. And obviously, this is all income dependent, but we started doing those things, and that helped minimize the number of decisions that we needed to make. Because honestly, it's go in there, grab the bag, pick one of the 3 menus we've selected for this week, grab the bag of ingredients and get going. There really isn't, it isn't that deep. So I would say if you have ADHD, one of my big life quality of life tips that has worked for me is minimalism, and specifically reducing the number of decisions that I have to make throughout my day. Because life is hard, and I would rather reserve all of my brain power and my focus energy for things that I really need to attend to versus things that are just like, I mean, really, who cares what kind of shoes you have on? Really, it's just a personal thing. So, if you can automate that as much as possible, then do it. So that's minimalism. Make it what you will, do, what you want, do what feels good. There is no magic number of outfits or shoes or anything like that. I have 22 outfits and 7 pairs of shoes, and that works for me. But you might be a person who needs 40 and, outfits and X number of shoes, whatever it is. But one of my other golden rules whenever I look in my closet is, if I have not seen this thing in greater than 60 days, chances are I don't need it. Chances are I don't need it to be in my closet, because it hasn't even occurred to me that I have it. And there were literally things in the back of this closet that had tags on them and everything that I haven't seen in probably a year. So if you haven't seen it in 60 days, my golden rule is it probably needs to find a new home. If you're feeling exhausted just by the idea of getting up and getting going, it's probably just the process of getting dressed. Figure out a way to make that work for you. At the end of the day, ADHD is such an awesome thing because it does challenge you to reassess your life over and over and over again and ask yourself what's working, what's not working. And I think if you can do that from a place of love and compassion from yourself, and not shame and judgment because you're not able to do what everyone else is able to do so easily, then you'll feel more equipped in your life and you'll be better positioned for success, whatever that looks like for you. Um, so this is it. This is my closet, and also welcome to my room. But this is my closet with my 22 items and my shoes and my, I just put it away, but my crate of things that I'm gonna, find places for. But make it your own. Have fun. I'd love to hear, how are you all staying organized out there? Let's exchange tips in the comments, as there's probably someone just like you who's looking for, some ideas and some resources to be great. So see you next week. Bye.